Aloha, it's Jennifer Victoria Bell, and I wanted to come on quickly. I have I have a day of clients and things, so I just want to tag someone here and tell her I'm live now. Um, I know this is kind of annoying when people do this, but sorry. So I want to share this because I think it's important. So there is this mass meditation today, that there's an invitation to do this mass meditation. I want to pull up this mass meditation for you, so I can help you understand why it's actually not beneficial um, for you to join this. And so well, the first reason is who is the person who's organizing this? Do you know who this person is who's organizing this mass meditation? Anyone? So I want to look at the instructions so I can tell you why. So I can give you specific feedback as to why this is not okay. Um, okay. Why? Okay. So removing the coronavirus. This is one of the issues is removing the coronavirus is not the solution. If you are really focused on understanding how the universal web of life and the interaction and the energetics, you have to understand that removing this virus is not the solution. You also have to understand, so that's one of the things that this is a tool to completely remove the coronavirus. It's not the solution. And I will tell you that I'm going to go into this a little bit deeper, but I want to, and then so the other thing is that doing a meditation where you're visualizing light going into all beings is a violation of free will. It just is. Everybody needs to be responsible for their own system at this time. This is very important to understand because what you're saying is, I have more will to manipulate the light of that person, the light of that being, and I'm going to do it. So if that's the kind of that's what you want, even though you were well intentioned, that's actually what you are saying. um, Also, like, if you are connected to the earth at all, you understand that the planet doesn't need disinfecting. It doesn't need disinfecting. That's not how this works. This is like taking outside light, right, and trying to change a circumstance to your own will, to work with your own agenda. And this is the agenda of this person. So I need you to all understand why this meditation is actually detrimental. So you're bringing a group of people together in unified consciousness, right? Well, we all are unified on some level. That's very true. The issue is when you come together with an intention, a unified intention at a specific time, and you are, you know, you're trying to come together as a collective, you're bringing with you all the unharmonized stuff. You have to do this internal work before you can really be a conscious co-creator on a collective level. There's this, everyone's seeing like these possibilities, like is it, and yes, the possibility is there to do those things, except that most of us have to do this internal work. So I need to backtrack a little bit because I need to give you some background on me, and I think it's very important background that you have. One, I have as a human. That's it. Now that comes with parallel lifetimes for each one, so maybe like we could say 35, right? Most of my lifetimes have been, as an elemental or a star being. Those are most of my lifetimes. A lot of people, a lot of you, and especially light workers, react to me because I have, I have a couple of soul lineages that have done some very destructive things, that have done create a lot of disharmony in the universe. Well, it's, and so that's what you react to when you react to me. You're not reacting to what I say. You're not reacting to what I do. You're reacting to my frequency. You're reacting to the fact that I have that in my lineage. I also have my lineage, I'm connected to the lineage that created implants. So all these kind of detrimental things that we're clearing. I have a lot of soul lineages that were, I'm not saying I'm the creator of implants. What I'm saying is that, a lot of lifetimes as a star being, and some of you are reacting to that. Now, it's taken me a very long time, and this is still my life's work, is trying to boil down what I understand in frequency and vibration into English language. I'm doing the best that I can, but it's not actually been easy for me. And, you know, I can tell you, I remember as a child all these things, and I understand that I operate more on sensing from a frequency and vibration level. So I'm going to tell you something that's very, very important right now. When you seek, right, to change something that exists outside of you because you think that's going to create peace, what you are signaling, what you are saying, what you are vibrating is that the internal change and internal work you could do on yourself doesn't mean shit. And I'm getting harsh here. I'm getting harsh here for a lot of reasons because there are a lot of people that are misdirecting you, a lot of people that have good intentions, but they are coming from a childish perspective, and you're asking a child to go to war. That's exactly what you're doing. A child doesn't have a capacity to understand that. A childlike mind discerns good, bad, and so what happens is you have all these people that are, they could be light workers, they could be energy workers, they could be grid workers. I don't care. They want to change the outer world. That is a childlike way of working with things. You have to understand that when you do the inner work, and you could get pissed off at me, I don't care. If you do the inner work and understand the power of the inner work, you understand that your inner work can change the universe. I need that you all to take that in. Your inner work can change the universe. And inner, I mean your system, within your own system. So any work that you do on yourself is actually changing the universe. If we keep doing this thing where we're trying to change the outside circumstance, you are relinquishing your power. You are absolutely relinquishing your power. You are absolutely saying, I have no power over this, or I'm going to try to have power over this. That's absolute bullshit. You're doing the same thing that everyone else is doing. Basically, right now, there's a great agenda to control people. There just is, right? We know. We're in our homes. We're all in our homes. I can tell you right now, I said yesterday to my soul, if this is the time to shapeshift into a dragon for all to see, this is the time to do it. So we can do it, let's do it, because this is the time, right? Why would I want to do that? Because they would definitely wake people up, right? If they could see me literally in front of their eyes shapeshift into a dragon, it would wake people up for sure, right? Well, so it's important to understand that I still have that power of that dragon around me. And I'm a short person. I'm not a tall person. And I've come here with these soul lineages that are absolutely friggin' huge. And I'm not saying it because I'm better than you or I'm more powerful than you, anything than that. You would not want what I have energetically going on because it's a lot to fit in my system. I've had to do a lot of work because I have whale soul lineage. Could you imagine whale, dragon frequency, all trying to get into my system at the same time and to a little body? I'm not 6 foot. If I were 6 foot, it'd be easier actually. I'd have more physical territory to work with, but I don't. So I've had to do a lot of inner work, a lot more than most. So you wouldn't want that. But the reason I'm telling you all of this is because if you keep participating in these meditations and these visualizations where you're trying to fucking change the outer world without doing your inner work, you are disempowering yourself. I can't get it across. And you can see how fired up, how passionate I am. And I'm actually pretty upset because How many people just fell on this bandwagon? Woo, a million meditators, we're going to do this, we're going to change the virus, we're going to wipe out the virus. That is not going to work because the energies that are underlying the virus, the agendas that are attached to it are still there. And you know what's going to happen? It won't be the virus, it'll be something else. Do you understand that? Something else will take its place if you wipe out the virus. But you're saying, there's this, I want to have power over this thing. Instead of, I want to harness my internal power, and when I harness that internal power, it changes the fucking world. So different. It's so different. And you rarely see me like this, but um, I have a lot of fire in my system. I just do. I have to let it come out sometimes. This is but this is coming from love. So what happens is if you've had experiences with people getting upset, let's say, and they're raising their voice and they're yelling, you're going to go, oh no, she's a horrible person. Well, actually, I'm not. What I'm saying to you is get a hold of yourselves and start to discern and understand that you will disempower yourself by trying to change something outside. Harness that power within. You are all so powerful. Your hearts, your bodies, your souls, your presence. Oh my God. If you knew how powerful you were, you would not, this, you would just, that wouldn't, you would just go, oh, I just have to do this internal work. And you'd feel how it starts to shift. And to understand that, like, I just can't, I can't get it into words enough for you. I cannot, I mean, I cannot. um, it's very hard to get it into words, and I hope it's coming through very clearly. It's very important to understand. Now, and I know a lot of people are kind of moving away from me because I'm posting a lot of stuff, like especially on my personal page, I kind of wake up stuff. I have to do that. It's part of my mission. And one of the reasons I'm doing it is because people are not making the connections. They're finding one bad guy, or this is the bad person, or this is the bad thing, and this is the thing we need to fight against. No, you need to understand that there are many players, right? Right now, we have this global play. Let's say we're in the global coronavirus pandemic play. We have all these actors, right? We have the whole plot line playing out. If you can't see it that way, you're going to get lost on one character, one character, one character. You're going to. And you're going to miss the plot line. You're going to miss the truth. You're going to miss a vital piece of information. So it's one of the reasons I'm sharing so much of that, because you've got to follow the money. You've got to understand when someone, well, I'm just going to, when, you hear Bill Gates, he speaks out of two sides of his mouth. One side he's saying, we need vaccines to save the world. On the other side, he's saying we need to control the population. It's not to control the population. We need to have control over the population. We need to have control over all of the people. How do you do that? You create vaccines. So what he's saying out of both sides of his mouth, because they're conflicting, is true. He's using vaccines to control the population, not to control the growth of the population, to control the population that exists right now. So I'm not saying that I'm focusing on him only, but people are looking at this and going, oh, like, oh, he's such a great guy. Look at what he's doing. No, no, you need to listen to what people say. And you need to then listen underneath what they say. You need to find that vibration and frequency that they're actually speaking. Because people are well trained in politics and in high level corporations to speak in certain ways that are based on mind control. So again, what I want to say, the 4-4 mass meditation, if you're, this is the whole thing. It's like, okay, let's have power over something outside of ourselves. Well, that's why we're here anyway. We're here in this place and time because people have been wanting to have power over something else Always. That is the exact same thing. It is the exact same thing. But everyone's getting tripped up because they think, oh, this is a great thing. No, because you're basically saying, I want to have power over this virus. Well, a virus is a being of consciousness, whether it's man-made or not. And what you're saying is that your own internal work doesn't matter. When your own internal work is the most powerful motherfucking work you got. And it will change the world. It will change the world because it's changing your relationship with the world. And if everybody understood that, we might be getting through this in a different way. We need more people to understand that. But I even saw a post from dietitians, registered dietitians, saying food cannot help you, cannot boost your immune system against the coronavirus. Registered dietitians are now saying that food cannot. This is dietitians of Canada. That food cannot boost your immune system against the coronavirus. That is the biggest piece of detriment, manipulative information I have seen out there. Go try eating McDonald's French fries for a week and tell me how your immune system does. Better yet, start eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, organic, non-GMO, and see how your immune system does. Because that's bullshit. Because what's happening is there is this, it's like, how much disinformation can we put in between you and your physical body? This is a definite, this global coronavirus play, right? This whole, one of the plot lines, because there's multiple plot lines, because there's multiple actors in it, is to have you not trust your body, trust your relationship with your body and your immune system. It's to disempower you. It's a big disempowerment. Yeah, but that's, thank you, Amir. This is actually I'm telling you, because the one thing that I know I'm attuned to is the way the universe speaks. And I can tell you what your choices will be in when you make a choice, what it's really speaking to the universe. I'm using the word speaking because it's a signal, it's a communication, it's a translation. So again, please don't go to this mass meditation. The other part of this is there are a lot of people gathering, creating unity meditations, like where we're going into oneness. And I can tell you that a lot of them are not understanding that you actually need a protective grid around that. Because imagine, there are detrimental beings or detrimental systems, and here you are in this unity consciousness. Do you know how easy it would be to infect the millions of people in a meditation of light workers if someone has not set up this kind of it's not even like protective, it's because I don't really like that word in a way. It's because it's not like we need to do this, it's not defensive. It's like you need to have something that helps you to claim that space. And because there's this misguided understanding of there's nothing out there that wants to harm you. Well, I hold that as a truth because that's a truth we want to co-create now. But it's not the truth we're living in now. We have two things happening at once. So you have to understand that. I want to co-create that truth. I have a lot of hope that we can co-create that truth, that there's nothing that seeks to harm us, to disempower us, to manipulate us, to cause us detriment. I have to hold that. That is a co-creative truth I want to live through. But at the same time, look around in the world we live in, because it is not that truth. It is absolutely not that truth. If it were that truth, we'd be in a very different reality right now. And again, I'm very passionate and I'm very fired up and as balanced as my nervous system can be, but like it's more natural for me to be more fired up if you don't understand that. And if you don't understand, if you haven't resolved your this is the dynamic you need to resolve if you react to me having an emphatic tone or feeling my Anunnaki frequency, which I have Anunnaki soul lineages, people. You are going to have to just get over it. um, so, and I want you to think about the benefit of having Anunnaki soul lineage with all that knowing of all that nasty detrimental stuff, and then having it come through someone who's very heart-based and who can utilize that to help and empower people. What do you think about that? So, but what you haven't, this is the dynamic you haven't resolved if you are reacting to me in this way. You are in a state of being you're in a parent-child dynamic. You're waiting for your parent to save you right now. You're waiting for your parent to love you right now. You got to do that parenting work yourself. And once you do that, you understand, you can feel the truth of my frequency and my vibration. And you understand. You understand that I am here to help you be in your own power, be in your own center, be in your own truth. I am here for that. I just got like an array of emojis, not even the angry one. I was like, what's going on here? Just got every emoji happening at once. So I needed to come out and tell you, yeah, I've had about 5 human lifetimes, five, and then all the parallel lives. And I've had mostly star being lifetimes, elemental lifetimes, and all of that is here now, right? It's like, oh, here now. I don't even know because I don't have any religious upbringing if I'm genuflecting correctly. But this is here now. I've been working on getting all those pieces together and to understand that, like, some people, yeah, we've done horrible things in lifetimes. Absolutely. You have to understand that, but you have to understand that this moment, this time, is your opportunity, right, to harmonize all of that, to understand, to have compassion for yourself, but also to, like, not to go out there and in a disempowered way say, I'm gonna imagine that this virus is love. Well, I saw someone do that in a group and everyone went nuts over it. And I actually commented. And I said, the virus is love. The virus is love. There's this very interesting thing where it's like, oh, 5D, love is the currency. Love is the currency now, folks. Love is the currency now. Everything is love. Everything. Some of it has just been distorted by the way people have been choosing to live through it. That's all. But you have to see everything as love. Even Bill Gates. I have to see that. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't, when I have if anyone wants to help with this, I have this idea that I'm thinking about. How can we come together in an empowered way, right? How can we? And I know there's this website called the Empower Movement where you can for their actions while as a politician. Now, what I would like to do, and I need to find out if we can do this, is all the people who are, creating detriment, anyone who's interested in perpetuating mandatory vaccines for all, for anything, I wonder if we can do a class action lawsuit. And how many people could we get together, and who, how many attorneys would help us, and that would be a way that I would feel very good about doing that, because I think it's time to start holding people personally responsible for their actions. Being a politician should not protect them. Being a religious leader should not protect them. Being a corporate leader should not protect them. Right? So that is my wish. And so I want to reiterate again, because people are joining, why the 4-4 mass meditation is detrimental. One, we don't know who created it, who's inviting us to that. So there's no overarching organizing principle of connection for that space. 2, anything that seeks to change something outside of you, like if you're saying, I want to have power over this thing outside, is actually disempowering to you, because you're not recognizing the great amount of power you have within by doing your own internal work and your own internal transformation. And you have to understand that you're saying, my internal work means nothing if you think you have to affect the virus out there. You do the work here. It's very powerful and it changes the world. Hands down. We just need more people doing that. And there are a great amount we still have. Like I said before, I uphold the truth that I'd like to co-create a world where there's nothing out there in spirit or as a human, because humans are spirits, that seeks to harm me. But that's not the truth we're living in right now, because there are people who seek to harm you, and spiritual beings that would love to siphon from your light source. So how easy is it to grab from millions of light workers who have come together to do something that's already disempowering their system? It's disempowering. So you're in a state of disempowerment. You're not claiming your own energy. You're not claiming your own vital life force. You are basically in a very vulnerable position for a being to, in fact, to siphon your light, to create detriment. So we need to be more discerning. I was like, you know what? I guarantee you that Stacey Spain is going to come on after I, like at this point in time. It's like, she's coming on. So this is why this is important, because on the surface, it's like, oh, let's do this good thing. Well, and you don't discern. You're not discerning. My immediate response was like, who's organizing this? That was my immediate response. Then I looked down at the instructions and I was like, oh no, because this is very disempowering. Very disempowering, because you're saying, I need to have power over that thing over there, which is what this whole coronavirus situation, one of the major plot lines of it is. You understand why we're here? Because there's been, energy and beings and people who want to control the population and disempower them. So you're just doing the same thing as an energy healer, light worker, meditator, whatever. It's not good. It's not okay. So then you've got to do your internal work. So, and I'm not saying this in response to the fact that I've been doing the inner gateway galactivations and I have one today, but because I don't really have an agenda. But part of the reason they're inner gateway galactivations is because they're working on your internal system. They're helping you with your own internal system. So we're not trying to have power over anything. We're just trying to have more power within ourselves. So I hope that was helpful. And if you have any questions, let me know. And I understand on the surface, looks good. Let's do this. This is great. We need more discernment. You need to understand that we're coming together. There's no more kiddie table of the universe. We've got to stop sitting at the kids' table of the universe. In order to do that, we have to come up and start to take responsibility for our light in our lives. Nothing outside of us is responsible for our internal world, except we are. And so my suggestion to you is to do your own internal work, do your own internal meditation, and understand that when you start to vibrate peace, not the picture of what you think peace is. So here's the other piece of this. So peace, love, compassion, abundance, prosperity. We can do a lot of visualization, like of what it's going to look like. But the issue is that our minds are pretty limited in some ways. And so if we're visualizing, if you're visualizing what you think is peaceful or what you think is joyful, like this is what it looks like in my everyday life. Step one, like immediately my boobs are perkier. Like I'm just gonna put that one out there as I'm 48 now. But like what happens is you create this visual thing, but you're not internally vibrating that thing. The universe responds to how you vibrate. So the more you vibrate just joy, without having to have a reason, an outer circumstance that creates that. Do you understand? So this is a very kind of like I wish the world would look like this because that'll help me feel safe. That's what people are doing. Well, no. Your internal world, safety, peace, love, compassion, joy, abundance, prosperity, mirth, merriment, whatever you want, that's got to come from within. That's got to come from within. And then you have to be like a badass mofo, and nothing outside of you can force you to stop vibrating that. That's how you become a badass, interdimensional, multidimensional mofo, honestly. Because you'll be tested. Well, you'll be tested to see if something can push you out of that vibration, and to see how resilient you are to get back into it. Because I'm telling you, there are things that definitely will challenge me, and they still do. And then it's a matter of coming back into it more rapidly, not forcing it, and understanding what's going on and what really is. Because in between, right, in between this pushing out of that vibration is the internal work that I need to do, right? So there's the signaling. Oh, there's the internal work. Okay, I'll do that, and then boom. And we cannot be attached to the outcome. We cannot be attached to the outcome. So uh, I was like, I probably will download this and just put this as a YouTube video, a public one, if you guys want to share it. And I know it's kind of personal about certain things, and I curse a lot, but I don't care because I'm fired up and that's the way it is. But I really want you to, yeah, Badass Interdimensional Mofo is the title of it's the title of my book. And my next offering. So I'm going to do that. And if you want to share it this way, you can share it. And I would really appreciate it because um, this is the work we need to do right now. This is it. This is the invitations. It's like you're saying that you matter by trying to change the virus. Like you're saying you don't matter. That's not okay. You matter. What you do matters. And what you do has a lot of effect on matter, physical matter of the world, how it's manifest. So yeah, I'll share it. So I have to go because I have a client in like half hour, and I need to drink some water and um, come into a different state of being for that client and for what I need to do next. And just say like, this is the time we need everybody to be. Um, it's like, yeah, we need to be more consciously active and co-creative. And I'll talk more about that because I feel like there are things like this is my non-reaction suggestion, is that we all figure out how to come together and literally file a suit against the people who are seeking to cause detriment to us as humans, or to control us as a population in a way that's detrimental. And you can look up, if you Google Parsva versus Google, PARSVA versus Google, there is a guy who is suing, who has a lawsuit already against Google and biotech and a lot of lawsuits. So if you Google that, you'll find a lot of information. Um, Grateful for you too, Michelle. I mean, I'm really grateful for all of you here, and I'm doing my best. And I have to get back into the money, relationship, and boundaries group with something for them. But there's a lot going on, so I keep, I'm working on creating stuff to support everybody, and I'm going live on my personal page a lot more because I'm trying to get more people there. So it's not that I'm ignoring you guys as a group, because I am trying to do something every day for all of you, but I wanted to make sure you guys knew how to really empower yourselves, and to understand that that 4-4 mass meditation is not going to help you do that. Okay, lots of love and aloha to you all. Questions, comments, tag me, okay? Bye.